sponsored by Heroes of History. I made the absolute perfect kingdom. That's right, we're playing tall in the smallest kingdom, Cornwall. Laith's done it, Snap Strategy's done it, but today I'm going to do it better. We're going to create a tiny kingdom, but don't let the size dissuade you because we're going to make so much money. We're going to become so developed that the skyline's going to look like New York City. I'm going to make England look like a joke, and I might even be Europe's last hope against the Mongols. But that's for much later. As you may know, I'm a bit of a nerd, and so you'll catch me playing all kinds of strategy games, history games, really anything that gives you a challenge. And that leads me to the sponsor of today's video, Heroes of History, a game where you build and evolve your own civilization through combat, research, and strategy. There's both competitive and cooperative gameplay, which I love, and just like playing tall, there's casual sessions with long-term progression. What makes the game unique is that it combines city building, hero collecting, and real-time battles with a creative narrative. The game's a time travel story led by icons like Tesla and Einstein. Until the end of August, there's a huge in-game event, the Great Odyssey. Help Odysseus to take down Scylla in the Scylla event dungeon, a brand new boss fight with escalating mechanics and some of the hardest in-game content. In the event, you can meet new event-limited heroes, Odysseus, Penelope, and Menelaus. Join the Great Odyssey event to face Scylla, log into the game for 7 days, and get a limited 5-star hero Odysseus. The hero won't ever be available after the event is over, so let's fight Scylla. When picking heroes, make sure to check the enemy's elements. I got myself a damage dealer being boosted by the support, and right before they die, I always make sure to activate my healer's ability. Make sure you build your hero's team based on their abilities. Can you also beat Scylla, the legendary man-eating monster? Download the game to find out using my personal link in the description or this QR code. Redeem my promo code Jackson to claim a starter boost of 10 antimatters, 2,000 experience, and 20,000 food. When you download the game, go to Menu, Profile, Settings, Redeem promo code, and use code Jackson to get even more special heroes. Thanks again to Heroes of History for sponsoring this video. I'm going to play as this little tip of Great Britain known as Cornwall. There's no corn here, but there is the Cornish culture. This culture is only in 2 counties. The 2 counties we're allowed to have in this game. It means I get to pick what innovations to go for. We start with 1 county, but we're gonna want to take the second forested piece of land when we can. Our county we control has 2 castles, only one of which we hold directly. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about the situation. William's having some fun trying to take over England, which technically includes us. Hopefully we'll be able to break free at some point though, since I'm gonna want to restore the Kingdom of Cornwall. It requires a high level of fame, the Duchy of Cornwall, and independence. Back to that whole secondary castle thing. I can level up our crown authority and simply revoke the title of our vassal. Now we get 100% of the taxes from the second castle, which really isn't much yet, so we gotta save up and construct some new buildings. What's the Cornish culture have anyways? Pretty much just ancient miners. It makes quarries provide extra bonuses, and it lets us build them here even though we have forests, not hills. I don't want William to beat me up, so I'll vote for him. Please William, don't hurt me. We have a martial lifestyle, but let's be honest, I'm not winning any wars with this thing, so I'll just go with learning. I'd love to get plus 20% research speed, and I mean, it'll give us some development. About that development, let's marry our courtier off matrilineally to a man with high stewardship skill. And look at that, we'll get another development in just 19 months. We kinda just gotta wait for more money. And I can fabricate a claim on our neighboring county. Although I think it would be best to get these cheap buildings that give us money, like quarries gives 0.5 gold per month. And because I did that, I can't afford to create the claim. We have a new liege. It looks like Norway won the war for England, although they're still fighting the Normans. There's the scientific perk unlocked. Now our research will only take a nice brief 50 years. Okay, not great, but it'll get better as our development goes up. Oh crap, Kent is taking the county next to us. That means we'll have to fight a stronger opponent for it later. Yeah, they have over double our current men, so I don't think I'll be taking that county right now. No point in fabricating a claim anymore. With the money I was going to use on that, I can build a second quarry in our second castle. I have a lot of daughters. Wait, I can ally France? No idea whether they're down to accept that, but I just have to do it. It's not all good since, it's France, but that should stop us from being invaded. Oh, there's our first son. Time to start raising him to be my heir. I'll also get a tutor and set them to educate children. This will increase the base stats of our kid. Since we're allied to France, I'll start fabricating that claim again. In theory, we should be able to use France to win the war, as long as they show up on time. It's still possible to lose this. The King of France doesn't like us, so he wouldn't join the war to help us. I will be swaying King Dictator Mbappe, until he's forced to like me, and only then can I declare war for that county. My son is rowdy, but I don't exactly want an intrigue or martial character, so I'm choosing a stewardship education for him. I was thinking that I'd want to go with learning for research speed, but rowdy kids do terrible with it. Next to our quarries, I'm building forestry. It's less money than quarries, but they decrease construction time. We have a new king, Magnus II. Oh yeah, I'm getting forestry in my second castle too. I'm just copying what I'm getting in the first castle. It does look like William failed to take over England, so it's the opposite of real life. So we're gonna have Norwegian overlords for a while. The King of France no longer hates me, but he's currently in a war. Once that finishes, I'll declare a war of my own. I'm still not going to admit the French are good people though. I would love to survive, so I'm getting a court physician, and they did their job, that's nice. I'm probably not gonna die from it, but I can't say I'm a big fan of the severe penalty. Sick or not sick, France's war has ended, and now I'm going to drag them into another one. 350 prestige is a small price to pay for a free victory. Oh crap, the French army isn't here yet. They did end up arriving right after and won a battle for us, but I lost a leg. Wait, what? Why am I one-eyed? But it says here I lost a leg. Yeah, that's gotta be a bug. We're not the only ones fighting wars. Looks like our liege is being attacked by Sweden. After waiting a bit for the war score to go up, we've won the war. Let me disband my army. Why won't it let me disband? Oh, the rebel troops nearby are preventing it. Okay, we have a new county. This is pretty big since, you know, we're only gonna have 2 counties this whole game. The county also has 2 castle holdings, one of which we can revoke from the vassal to control it directly as well, but we're not making any money from it, and that's because we have 0 control. Using our marshal, we can increase the control, but oh my god, it's gonna take 13 years for our crappy marshal. That's okay, I'll just have to wait. And build quarries in the new holdings, of course. Both the new holdings. Oh, cool. William came back for round 2 and won this time. We're actually a part of England this time. I hope to get my independence one day, but probably not against this guy and his huge military. Cornwall is doing good though, since we've almost doubled our development from the start. Well, William was killed. The new guy has made us Marshal of England, which I'm not really sure what it does. Let's see. Okay, not great what I'm going for. My next step would be to form the Duchy of Cornwall, but it's going to cost us 250 gold. I don't think the title matters that much, so instead I'll keep getting buildings. So we have quarries and forestry. I also want to get trade ports for gold and development growth. I'm about to have those in each county, but you'll notice we have a 4th building slot in our capital. I can move the county capital and then move it back. And now you'll see we have another building slot. I'm not going to question the ethics of using this trick. I mean, come on, we got 2 counties, I gotta use everything I can. You know what, I guess the duchy title would be nice to get ourselves a duchy building. No idea what's happening, but we have yet another new king of England, and he's at war with France. Classic England. A new heresy faith, Messalianism? I don't know if this is even a real religion, has formed in Lombardy, and I have the choice to convert. Okay, they have lay clergy, that's what I'm going to want in a religion. It's a bit of a weird religion, I'll be honest, but I don't see why I shouldn't convert. The biggest immediate change is that our eldest daughter is now our heir, which works great because look at this grandson we have. He's inherited an intelligence trait that gives him extra skill points. So the reason I want lay clergy is that it lets you hold temples directly like secondary castles. Except right now we don't have any temples, so it doesn't matter, but it will eventually. In this 4th building slot, I'm getting hospices. There's been a lot of issues in my previous games, and I do not want to experience that again. Ah, crap, I can't educate my grandson. They are not nearby. That also made it so my daughter didn't convert religions, so we'll probably go back to Catholicism when we die. England is doing an election again, and I could vote for myself and try to take over, but I want out of here. Instead, I'll vote for the King of Denmark, because it'd be really funny to see England change dynasties again. We're depressed. We're probably gonna die soon, but at least I got the scholar trait to increase development growth for a bit. Let's finally create the Duchy of Cornwall. Unfortunately, when we die, we'll lose our secondary county to our sibling, but there's really nothing I can do. There it is. It sucks losing direct control over our second county. We're a steward, but I'd rather get a scholarship focus for the plus 15% dev growth and the good perks. Speaking of perks, I'm resetting mine to go down the middle architect tree. It gives bonuses to building stuff, gives a little development, an extra holding slot, and the architect trait makes building stuff super easy. Our sister and now vassal is planning to rebel against us, which I'm actually kinda happy about. I can get an alliance, and now when they rebel, we should win. Well, I hope so at least. I'll get more archers just in case. The traitorous sister has rebelled, and with my allies joining, I should be able to win. Yep, it was a piece of cake. Now I can revoke the titles from our sister as punishment for rebelling, and bam, we got ourselves the land back. Unfortunately, all that stuff made the control real messed up, so we aren't completely set. I'm gonna take my courtiers and marry them off to get some better counselors. The whole becoming the leader of a nation and dealing with the rebellious sister has caused us a lot of stress. So let's eat. I don't care about what others think, so I might as well reduce the number of courses to make the feast cheaper. Now I won't die of a stress-induced heart attack. Our liege has once again changed. This time, England's in the hands of someone who's definitely not an adequate ruler. I could declare an independence war, but that's not a good idea. Instead, I want to create an independence faction. I'll have to wait a few months, but that's not bad at all. Once we get our independence, we'll be able to form the Kingdom of Cornwall, once we reach level 4 fame. It might be hard to do that. We're not even at the second level of fame on this character. I'll worry about that later, because first we have to actually win this. I can call in my ally and kind of just wait around. Because we waited that time to start the faction, the war goal is simply our land, so if we just defend here for a bit, eventually we'll win. Unrelated, but man is this a good son. Temperate, content, and a genius. I'm sure he'll be important later. I know I said I could just wait around and win, but why not speed things up? It's not like England's fighting back. Their troops are busy fighting France or whatever. This war is so surprisingly easy that I'm gonna start upgrading my economic buildings to level 2. The war is won, and we're officially independent. Now to get a higher level of fame, we'll have to host a ton of hunts and feasts. That's gonna cost us a lot of money, but it's really the only way for us to get a lot of prestige. Because of that, it might be better to just upgrade buildings and form the kingdom on a future character. If we're able to get super rich, then it'll be much easier to hold constant events. Mercenaries taking my money isn't going to help the process though. My strategy for developing our counties is to develop whichever one is increasing quicker. It'll flip-flop back and forth most likely, since counties with higher development increase more slowly. Hey, why don't you? Look at that, we've unlocked battlements. Now our culture is moving on to the high medieval, and when that happens we can research windmills, the best tech ever. Of course someone's trying to kill me. To stop that, let's just redouble guards. I kinda like living. Fun fact, holding a feast increases development growth by 20% for 5 years. This is fair, but annoying. I have this ally who I haven't been helping, so I guess now I'll finally help since he's kind of forcing me to do so. I feel like this happens every time. I start selling my troops over and the war ends. Okay, so battlements. It unlocked level 2 castles, but I want to upgrade my buildings to level 2 before the castle upgrades. Duke William III wants to ally with me. Sure. I still don't have my own military, so it's nice to get alliances to prevent invaders. That important son from earlier is of age and got the mastermind philosopher trait. Combine that with the stats and lifestyle experience from Genius, and he's the perfect heir. Although, he's not technically our heir yet, since he's not the eldest son. With an income of 10 gold a month, we're starting to get upgrades pretty regularly. Starting with the quarries, then the forestry buildings, I'm getting everything to level 2. And of course, each building comes quicker than the one before it, thanks to the extra gold from each upgrade. Now that our buildings are becoming level 2, I'll have to upgrade our castles. You can only upgrade buildings past level 2 if your castle is level 2. Castles are expensive though. Yeah, actually, I'll get a duchy building first. It wouldn't be a playing tall video without the Royal Reserves, a building that gives gold and development growth across the entire duchy. I'm wondering if perhaps we should move our capital to the duchy capital, and I think I've decided that I'm gonna do that. It has minimal impact, but I think this county is just a bit better. Aw, thanks Pope, this is gonna help us. And this will help us too. The Holy Order will give us money to lease out a holding. Now, okay, I don't actually want to lease it out, so I'll revoke the lease for a piety penalty, but we get to keep the money, so that's all good in my book. With that money, I can upgrade our castle to a keep, which will let us upgrade our economic buildings once it finishes. My second son is better in almost every way. Now, how should I go about making him my heir? Our eldest is not going to take the vows willingly, so I can't take him out of succession by making him a monk this way. Oi, what, mate? The Pope will give me some gold that I'm going to immediately use to get more bowmen. I can actually get a lot of bowmen. They're pretty cheap. We got a lot of troops from our ally coming over, so that's definitely going to make a difference. The game says we're going to die if we fight here, so I'll go into debt buying mercenaries, a price I'm willing to pay. And now we can attack. We won the battle. Winning the war will get that mercenary money back and then some, so we just gotta wait. The English are gonna keep coming back to fight us, and I'm gonna keep beating them up until we win. There's the win, and thanks for 1,000 gold. The game wants us to start a legend with the money, but I'd rather not right now. Maybe later. Instead, I'll start getting some level 3 buildings. Upgrade another castle here and there. Watermills have been constructed, what? Ah, the level 3 quarries is called watermills. Huh, weird, because there's another building called watermills, I think. Or is that water wheels? No, I'm pretty sure it's watermills. Well, they're kind of the same thing, but yeah, I'm pretty confident the other building is also called watermills. Back to the succession I was talking about before the British attacked. We can create an election in our duchy using 1500 prestige to vote for our son when we want to take charge. And since we're the only voter, I think he's got a good shot at winning this thing. When did he lose a leg? I don't know, but he's got a level 2 fame already, so in theory he should be the guy we're able to form the Kingdom of Cornwall with. Hey, treasured knowledge was unlocked. That's a permanent plus 20% development growth bonus, and I didn't even have to go for it. We have this guy as our dynasty head. Okay, the Duke of Brittany, and he just so happened to go down my favorite dynasty legacy branch. Very cool. It's going to be hard to take his place as the dynasty head until we become a king. With our current techs, we're able to get up to level 4 buildings, so that's what I'm starting to do. They also build super quick since forestry and quarries both decrease construction time. We've died, and somehow we lost the capital to our brother? I gotta say, I didn't expect it, but it looks like we could just take it back like that. It'll give us tyranny, but like, who's gonna rebel? We own all the land. And it did lower our control a bit, but I don't mind. Our goal is to get a ton of prestige to level up our fame, so I'll be hunting and feasting non-stop. Oh, come on, I failed a 95% dice roll? I guess I don't need any more kids. The player error does kind of suck though. Another way to get prestige, I mean, it's basically the same since it's just another event, but it's a different event. The Grand Tournament. I think you get the same prestige no matter the prices, so I can just lower these all the way down to decrease the price of the event. I do think you get more prestige for winning, so I'll try to do that. We're playing some chess out here, and I'm just saying, I'd beat all these guys in chess. I mean, I have stockfish. But in the game, I might lose. Nope, I won. Well, at least that round. We got one last round to go. And there you have it, checkmate. We got about 1,000 prestige total from that, and a really bad necklace. We still need way more prestige. Lots of that can come from these successful hunts when we're going after some crazy animal like a wolf or a boar. Another advantage to getting all this prestige is that we can add a new cultural tradition. The obvious one to go for is forest folk. I mean, it gives development growth in forest, makes buildings cheaper in forest, and has the cool bonus of unlocking watermills early, like the real watermills. But that doesn't really matter here. All but one of our holdings are forests, so this is a great idea. I'll also want to get maritime mercantilism. It gives you plus 10% holding taxes and coastal holdings, and all of our land, however little that is all by the sea. But nah, forest folk is gonna come first. It'll only take 5 years to come into effect thanks to our super tiny culture spread. Now that was a lot of prestige from a hunt. It increased our level of fame. Just one more level to go. It is still a far ways away though. In addition to events, we can also increase our monthly prestige by a bit. I can send my daughter in exchange for a Norwegian royal family member, and once they arrive, I'll get some extra prestige per month. Plus 1 prestige per month extra. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think that's gonna make much of a difference. Classic England trying to take my child away. Windmills have almost been discovered, so that's exciting. We're just a bit behind the Greek culture in terms of innovations, but I'm sure in a few decades with the addition of windmills, we'll be well past them. I don't think I've ever appointed a personal champion, but it looks like they can give us prestige. Oh, I have a great idea. I'm going to divorce my wife. Yes, that's the great idea. Okay, that's not all. I'm now going to marry a woman that'll give me the most prestige. This woman will give me 700 prestige. In addition to that, I can choose to hold a grand wedding, another source of prestige. Oh wow, and the Pope gave me money for the second marriage. Thanks, Pope. Thanks for the prestige, very cool. Although the actual 700 marriage prestige might have been overridden by the grand wedding prestige, unless the wedding prestige is calculated from that. Who knows, I got a lot of fame either way. But I'm barely past the halfway mark. Dang it, my wife is too cool so I can't get a divorce again. Windmills! Those are better than divorce. We have the option to get windmills or watermills in our new building slot. Windmills give gold, holding taxes, and development growth. Watermills give gold, decreased building time, development growth, and holding taxes. Except this time it applies to the whole county, not just the holding. To make it balanced though, it is a lower amount, and it is less development. And at level 1, windmills are definitely better, so I'll go with them first. I'm not too worried about the construction cost. In 21 years we'll get guilds for another building slot, and then I'll be able to build both anyways. I'm building windmills everywhere I can, which isn't many places since you can't actually build them in secondary castles. It'd be too OP, so I get it. Once again, I'm holding a grand tournament, but this time I'm not much of a winner. I take it all back, that level of fame looks like winning to me. Once I get 300 gold, I'll be able to join England as a kingdom, forming the Kingdom of Cornwall title. And we've become a king. I am Cornelius Reborn. We get a nice yellow color to signify all the gold we're going to make, and I suppose I should add an election to it. Life is good in Cornwall now. It could be better though. We need to form a new culture. Not that our culture is bad. I mean, we got forest folk now, but I want bureaucratic and don't want to spend 20,000 prestige to get it. Actually an absurd price though, crazy, right? So instead we can diverge our culture, changing it to bureaucratic for 5,000 prestige. I'll also want to swap the storyteller's tradition for something really cool. City keepers is a great option, and maritime mercantilism is another great option, but we're gonna need another 3,000 prestige either way. I have to do our tradition stuff in this way as there's a long cooldown to adding new traditions to a culture. But what I can do is add a tradition like I already did, and then diverge to get another new tradition, and then on that new culture add yet another tradition, all without a time penalty. Now that we're a king, I have a crown being produced to hold a coronation. We have to hold one or our legitimacy will continue to tank like this, and being legitimate has a ton of nice bonuses. Whoa guys, we got Excalibur. I wonder if it's the real one. We also have this absolutely amazing book that gives us plus 10% domain taxes in same faith counties. It's called the Aragona Chronicon. Try pronouncing that. Back to our buildings. I'm upgrading our windmills, and as I do so, our income will start to skyrocket. The crown was completed and now it's coronation time. I need to hold a bunch of events to get prestige anyways. I got some cool scale armor, so that's neat. As a part of the coronations, I get to swear an oath, and I want to swear the oath to foster enlightenment. We'll need 30 development and to complete another challenge I'll get into later. The reward for completing it is a university special building. I've decided that I want my heirs to go back into the stewardship lifestyle over learning, as I don't think development will be all that hard with our new buildings, and I need more gold. Especially if I'm going to be hosting events non-stop like this. I really just need prestige. The windmills innovation lets me upgrade my duchy building, so there's another big bonus. Windmills themselves are expensive and take a long time to build, but we do have all these bonuses to shorten the length and all these bonuses to decrease the cost. Hey, 7,000 prestige! It was a lot easier getting prestige while at kingdom. Now I have to pick between the two traditions I want. Maritime mercantilism will give us plus 10% income, so let's just go with that. The issue with diverging your culture is that you usually have to promote it in a bunch of different counties to get the effects, but here we only need to promote it in one, and it'll just take 4 years. Now when I unpause the game, you'll see that we now have this plus 10% from culture. Thanks, maritime mercantilism. My next use of prestige would be to adopt a centralized bureaucracy. That's just 1,500 required though, so it won't take nearly as long as it did to get the 7,000. Why do we want to change government types though? It'd let us hold city holdings directly. Right now there's dude holds it and only pays us 1% of the income, but with an administrative, I could just kick him out and get all the profit myself. In the meantime, there's been something else I've been meaning to do. We have the True Believers Dynasty Legacy that reduces the cost to create a new religion. We also have the learning perk that does the same thing, and together it makes new religions really cheap. Now to choose tenants. Megalithic Constructions gives plus 15% development growth in hills and plus 10% taxes in hills. Wait, but that's kind of complicated. First, let's get the obvious stuff out of the way. We're gonna want lay clergy to hold temples directly. I'll get rid of marriage restrictions to make things easier, and I definitely want to make it so we can change our bishop whenever we want. Aniconism is a cool tenant that makes temple buildings really easy to build. We're only gonna have one temple holding though. And you know, I am gonna go with the hills bonus, and I might as well get Aniconism. Both will only affect one holding in our kingdom, but none of the other tenants are important. The Corn faith is born, and someone of the faith is corny. When constructing new holdings, it's required to build at least one of each type, and this county already has a castle and a city, so we have to build a temple. That's why we want to be able to hold them directly. I mean, if we're gonna have to have one, we might as well, right? Oh, and this city holding here is the one that's the hills. Even though it's not the capital of the county, the hills effects still apply. You can see the bonus development right here. Now I think I'll work towards getting an administrative government. I should be able to do it on this character since I'm getting whole of body. Ha, yeah, that figures. I suppose I did convert religions. I have enough money to support a bigger army, so I'm okay with investing this money. They're also just coming off a boat, so I'll have a huge advantage. You won't even pay me that much if I win, so I'll just settle with a white piece. Our temple finished constructing, so let's take that for ourselves and add buildings. Temples have this special development building from our culture, but it doesn't have any money, so I'll build that after the regular buildings. Look at just how cheap and quickly we can build things. Aniconism is really putting in the work here. Man, that building finished quickly. This county is going to get up to speed fast. Now I'm getting the megalith, and remember the development in temples applies to the county as a whole. The only thing about the corn religion that sucks is that we don't get the plus 10% development growth from Rome. Oh, and the holy wars, I suppose. This woman killed my wife. Figures as much. Our son has come of age, and man, is he a pretty good heir. Who cares about him though? We just got guilds. We get a new building slot to make use of, and of course, as mentioned previously, I'm getting watermills. I'll be going for hoardings next, which unlocks the next level of castles. I can't build the mills in our secondary holdings, so I'm just getting whatever gives me the most gold. It's time to become administrative. If you have a big realm, this changes a lot. If you have a small realm like mine, it's pretty simple to understand. Our money is separated into personal gold and estate treasury. As you can see, this swap immediately made us start earning significantly more money than before. The personal funds are used on stuff like feasts, and the treasury is used on upgrading buildings. On top of the money we've already gained, I can revoke the title from our city vassal to begin making this gold directly. We also have this kind of mini county called the estate that generates personal money instead. I don't really care much about the estate, but I'll want to get anything that gives us gold, and the grain fields here will also give us development. My son just died in battle. Okay, it's fine. It was the one I sold to the church earlier off camera. In our cities, I'm going to want to build water mills, which will increase the gold of the entire county. But of course, I can't since they're not the capital county. What I can do is add the City Keeper's tradition for 2000 prestige. And right there you can see that it'll unlock this feature. Yes, it's going to be OP. And that's why I'm constructing a new city instead of a temple, even though I can get temple buildings for super cheap. The second major change in an administrative is the military. We have our personal force here, which is smaller than feudal. This uses personal gold. Then there's provincial armies for each duchy title and above in the realm. These troops use treasury. Normally you can get an insane number of troops by having a lot of titles, but of course we just have one. Well, two, a duchy and a kingdom. So we'll have a relatively small military. I need prestige, but I can't really afford all the events, so I'll need to steal from the government. After spending all my people's taxes on feasts and hunts, I can officially add city keepers to our culture. In just 5 years, I'm going to be overpowered. All my capital buildings are level 4 and maxed, except my trade ports aren't maxed as a result of maritime mercantilism. It lets me level them up an era early. Our money is growing fast. With that money, I can get some core amenities to increase development growth in the capital. Our country is so small that the amenities are dirt cheap. That city finished building. I guess we have a lot of new stuff to build once again. The Irish really want my quarries, but they can't have them. 1,000 people, ouch. Do you remember that oath from a long time ago? I think now's the time I attempt to complete it. I could either get a level 5 education trait or make it so each of our counselors have at least 20 in their skill. Now I don't have either of those, but I'm going to try to get the counselors. I'll pay money to recruit our guests, then I'll marry off our courtiers to get better stat counselors. This is easier since our religion is equal rights, therefore we can have both men and women on our council. Importantly, I need to take a high learning guy and convert them, so we can make him our court chaplain. Just like that, we meet the requirements. Now we just need the gold. I'm going to put the building in our second county. The building gives development growth, renown, lifestyle experience, and research speed, so it's a great building. But I have an even better building plan for the capital. That'll require us doing a legend, but that's for future me to worry about. I had to steal from the treasury a couple times to get the money, but now we have an instantly constructing university. Don't question it. I'm not really sure why we have to use personal money for it, and I'm also not sure how it just pops up immediately, but either way, we have the building. Our city keeper's tradition was just integrated, so I can pick between watermills and windmills. I have to go with watermills. Windmills are better for the individual holding, but watermills provide extra taxes for the entire county. And just so you know, that'll stack with the other watermills in the capital holding. Both cities I own now have watermills, and oh my god, we just died. I never would have thought that we'd not have enough holding slots in a 2-county realm. On this character, I'm going for the architect perk and the extra domain slot from divided attention. My queen might be evil, but I'm gonna try not to worry about it. Wait, I just realized that I lost this county to my sister, yet for some reason I'm unable to revoke the title. Well, I know a better way to take away land, and it involves trying to imprison them to start a war. I'm easily winning it since I have a military and they don't. Aw man, it's making me siege the whole county. That's annoying because, you know, we're gonna get a reduced income penalty for 5 years after this. I won the war and now my sister is in prison, so let's kill her. I was the primary heir and now I have the land I maybe not so rightfully deserve. Wait, did I mention this? You can only build either windmills or watermills in this city, not both. I'm going to university with the hope of increasing our education trait to level 5. This event is crazy because there's just a random 1% chance you end someone by destroying them with facts and logic. Hey, we got it, the golden sovereign trait. On top of giving you a ton of extra stewardship and learning lifestyle experience, we get an extra holding slot and a bunch of vassal taxes, which doesn't matter in this playthrough but can be super useful. We also get enough skill points to unlock the architect trait, making us great builders. So yeah, I'm just gonna be building. We're making money quicker than we're spending it, which is pretty unusual but really awesome. It's because we're making over 100 gold per month. Our capital is maxed out and the other holdings will follow until we get level 3 castles, then we'll have more to do. Which we just unlocked. None of the other techs are absolutely needed. Advanced bow making can be great if you want to get a ton of archers. Banking gives plus 10% development growth, so that'd be nice. Basically, I just want to get enough techs to enter the next era, which can start in the year 1200. as long as you have at least 8 innovations from the last era. Let's upgrade our castles. Normally this makes me broke, but we just casually have an 85% discount from the base price. I mean, look at all these bonuses. I wasn't even really going for this. It's just a side effect of our traditions and land. All our holdings are being upgraded. Since I already have the architect trait, I'm going back to the learning lifestyle for development. Whoa. Even with all the discounts, maxing out trade ports still costs 600 gold. It'll be almost instantly built though. Nothing else costs nearly that amount. My castle holdings are starting to get maxed out. I won't have any more upgrades here until the late medieval, which is coming pretty soon. We can get the Dynasty Legacy Bureaucrats. I mean, that's just more development from our steward. We get another development point each month. Another innovation discovered. We're at 5 out of 8 for the era, and with our development, it takes less than 10 years for each innovation. And we do 2 at once at that speed. Everything's maxed out, guys. This little kingdom is making all the money it can right now. And I swear, it was just a few years ago when we hit the 100 gold per month milestone, and now we're at 200. The high medieval really has a big spike, huh? Because of how quickly we're researching stuff, we should be able to enter the late medieval right when it turns 1200. So I could spend 735 gold to upgrade our olive plantation to level 4 with this event, but it only costs 408 normally. Why is the event price higher? I don't understand this game sometimes. Everything is fully upgraded, and with banking, we just gotta wait a few more years for our next level of progression. In the meantime, we can create a legend. The legend will give us a 50% chance at an amazing special building, but I rarely hit the coin flip. In reality, it'll just give us claims on the Kingdom of England, which is always fun. You can increase the quality to get some more effects, but I don't think I'll be able to get the legend to spread to 100 baronies in a reasonable time. I mean, I only control 2 counties after all. We can complete the legend after 5 years either way. We're officially completely maxed out for the era. The thing about this claim is that I'm kinda old, so I don't think I'll be able to use it. But the good news is that it's a press claim, and press claims pass on to kids. I can complete the legend, getting a claim on England to use later, and whoa, cool. I got the special building. Let's add that to our capital. It gives you +1 building slot, plus 20% holding taxes, and plus 20% development growth. The building slot sounds cool, but it doesn't push you past the cap, and we're already at the cap. But the other stuff is great. We're entering the late medieval in a year and change. The first tech I want is cranes. It'll unlock higher level economic buildings. Now that we're in the era, it'll take us 9 years to unlock a new innovation. Man, we're a small kingdom, but this yellow is really pretty. Here's a fun little trick for you. You can make your player heir your personal physician, and with the improved skills thing enabled, they can increase their learning and health. Watch how fast I get development each month. Oh man, I saw that and thought we got cranes for a second. Now there, we've unlocked cranes. The next innovation is the hard to pronounce matriculation. That'll unlock the max level castles. That's the last innovation we need for a completely maxed out domain. First thing I can do is upgrade our royal reserves, which we really don't need since we almost have max development. I can upgrade our temples and cities to the max level, but I still have to wait for another tech to help out our castles. When the city/temple holding is upgraded, I can also upgrade the economic buildings in them. Oh come on, I'm so close to maxing out development. This better not hinder me. We'll probably be fine at least. Why would you guys do that? That was not a good idea. It lowered our development by quite a bit, but I mean, it does go up very fast, so it probably doesn't matter. Also, I do have hospices, which I think reduces the damage. It caused my son to become depressed though. His mom passed. That's not ominous at all. Why am I still losing development? I thought this thing would be over by now. Yeah, but no, I don't need to worry about the development. The bonuses don't even fit on the screen. My temple and cities here are almost fully maxed out. When a building's maxed out, it doesn't even get a number. For whatever reason, I don't really know. Our temple holding is now completely maxed out. The capital is just about to reach 100 development, and yeah, we got the last point in like 3 months. I'll try to get 100 development in my other county too, but that'll go even quicker since development has a spreading effect. The castle upgrade innovation is getting close to being completed because our research speed is insane. I mean, obviously though, we got a high average development, I gotta say. I wish I had this minus 30% hunt feast cost earlier. I never really thought about it, but I guess I became the dynasty head at some point. There's the innovation we've been waiting for, and wouldn't you believe it, we're gonna upgrade our castles once again. I mean, do I really need to go over this again? I'm gonna upgrade castles and upgrade economic buildings. In the meantime, I'm researching gunpowder because I want guns. It'll only take 5 years, by the way. All my archers will be switched out for crossbowmen. They're just a better version of archers, which isn't necessarily accurate. There's a lot of disadvantages to crossbows. All 4 of my castle holdings are being upgraded. I might get carpal tunnel from all the mouse movement. I mean, this is kind of just for show. I don't even really need these upgrades. I think we're making enough money as is. Oh man, our poor guy won't get to see the kingdom fully maxed out. He's just a little too old. We're like really close. He didn't like guns though, so that's cool. Well, I see bombards here, but I don't see gun people. The tech definitely says we should be able to recruit handgunners. Oh well. Our guy won't be able to see his dreams, I guess. Ooh. I'm hosting a coronation, but it's kind of overshadowed by the fact that all of our buildings are fully maxed out. Full stop. Pretty nice. I guess I'll ensure the peace now or something. I don't know, I want to go to war with the English. I've also maxed out my military, although I'll have to recruit when we get the last military tech. Our second county just hit 100 development, so yep, we've perfected Cornwall. We won. I'd still like standing armies though. There's improvement to be had. We're an entire era ahead of the Anglo-Saxons, so that's nice. I actually did end up completing my ensure peace oath. Every time I get this event, I'm scared some kind of killer clown pops up, but nope, it's just a surprise birthday party. But I know this event can be evil sometimes. Standing armies. Because of our nation's setup, most of our men-at-arms are within our own personal army, and I gotta say, they use a ton of gold. I can barely afford them. Wait, can I even afford them? And then for our title armies, I can easily afford them, but they're kind of small. I need a better marshal to reduce the maintenance cost. I'll steal some money, and hopefully when the troops are supplied, we'll be fine. And yeah, okay, we're good. But when we raise them, we might go back to being in the red. So now what everyone's been waiting for. I'm kind of just bulldozing though. And we've taken London. I'm sorry, Harry. Not Potter. Kane. We kind of just won. I mean, what do you expect? I have cannons. Now we're at war with France though, defending Normandy from them. Oh my god, we just killed their entire army. This is why being a nice small kingdom is better. So I rolled that save back. I had the intention of attempting to fight the Mongol horde, but the Mongols are too far away. And unfortunately in my game, they aren't expanding all that quickly. Let's see what we could have done though. What would happen if we spent all our money on mercenaries? For some reason, the mercenaries are really cheap. Usually they'd be a lot more expensive. Is this because our realm is so small? With mercenaries, our military consists of 56,000 men. And let's see. Dang, the Mongols still have more troops. We would have lost anyways, huh? Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to check out these other videos, like and subscribe, and check out the sponsor of today's video, Heroes of History. Thank you again for sponsoring this video. Shout out to my channel members.